Y'all, it's been a little bit since we've done a monthly favorites video. I know I promised that I would do this every month, but the last one I did was back in January. But if you're not familiar with my monthly favorites video, basically what I like to do is share some of my favorites, not just in tech, but my latest favorites as well in things like bags, non-tech items, music, TV shows, just an array of different categories. So let's get into that very first item. Boom. This mechanical keyboard. It's so satisfying to hear that. I've just really been enjoying this for a couple of different reasons. One being, come on, it's obvious, the design. We got it playing off of the off-white theme, and it is hitting. It's delivering in all areas, from the back to the sides of it, to the keys themselves. I just love it. And it charges via USB-C. It can work wirelessly or wired, and so I usually use this wirelessly, honestly. It's mostly with my Windows and Mac setup. It can work with iOS and Android as well, but I don't really use it in that way. Battery-wise, if you do choose to use this wirelessly, right now I'd say I'm charging mine like maybe once or twice a month. I just love it. I am actually working on redoing my office setup, and I'm gonna be doing a final video on that once it's live, so you can stay tuned for that. And speaking of staying tuned, y'all, we're like this close to hitting 400K. So if you are enjoying this video, you want more content, or you want that office tour that I'm speaking of, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. That way we can get closer to the 400K. And you can also get updated when new videos are released. But yeah, all in all, I'm feeling this. And the neat thing about it is, like, this is just one variation. It comes in like a lot of different kind of like themes or styles that just look really good and adds to a more unique setup. So I'm gonna have them linked down below so you can check them out, as well as like everything else that I'm mentioning in the video. Yeah, this next item is a karaoke mic. Yeah, I did it, and I'm doing it like this in the video. So this is the mic right now that I'm speaking through and what you're hearing. Let me turn down the echo a little bit. It's all the way up. I got inspired to get a karaoke mic after a karaoke session at Sony Creator Camera Camp. Yeah, we had a karaoke night. Yeah, when I got back home, I had to get one of these. The nice thing about this particular brand or whatever is that it comes in a lot of different color options. And as you heard there, the sound quality is not bad, like at all. So on the front, what you have is a power button, and that turns it on. You also have other controls like adjusting the track, the volume, the echo, and the sound of your music. Because I can wirelessly pair this to my phone and actually have the music coming through the speakers here. Let me just show you. So you hear we got his voice right now, right? But if I hit this mic in Apple Music, the mic right there, I can turn his voice down all the way or just a little bit. He's just like my background vocal, but we're gonna turn him all the way off. So now I can have a whole karaoke moment for real. Like, this works perfect with Apple Music app. And I think of it every night. I feel like the thing in the Wiz. I just feel official. Anyway, when you go to the bottom, it does charge via micro USB. Wish it was USB-C, but whatever. And it also has a micro SD card slot, I wanna say. So you can actually put music on that SD card and then use this to adjust the tracks. Next to all of that, you have a headphone jack. And this is where it gets really good, because then I can connect this to a bigger speaker and have an even bigger performance. Speaking of, brings me to our next item. This beautiful speaker from Marshall, one of my favorite speaker brands and the sponsor of today's video. So the cool thing with these is that they have a couple of features that I really, really like outside of the design, because let's be real, that's one of the first things that grabs your attention here. Let's get into the details. The sound production. I like the fact that the media controls are along the top, so I can easily adjust the bass and the treble, play and pause media, advance it. And hold on, let me get in here. And you can get the battery life, you tap that. This lets you adjust the bass and the treble here, so you can see the intensity level like that. And this is your play and pause button. And it also advances your media track. So we're gonna, boom. Hold on, here we go. And so at the top, you have your media controls, this beautiful gold accent button and Marshall along the front with speaker grills pretty much along the entire speaker. But I will say one feature that I really like up here is called stack mode. And what it does is basically amplify the sound by connecting multiple Middleton speakers. You also have the option to have multi-host. So that means you can be controlling it from your phone and your iPad, or it can be controlled from you and a friend. And on top of that, if you look along the back, you'll see that you can even charge another device through the USB-C
USB-C cable. And I have to acknowledge this here because it has something known as true stereophonic. The sound production on this thing is insane. Now, I'm not gonna claim to be an audiophile, but I am definitely a music lover. And this speaker right here gets my award for like Bluetooth speaker of the year so far. It is extremely loud, like backyard party loud.
What you tryna do?
All right, another favorite of mine is this screen protector that I recently picked up for my iPhone 14 Pro Max. The cool thing about it, y'all, is that it has like a bluish purple tint to it when you tilt it at different angles. So it just kind of adds a unique spin to your, typical tempered glass screen protector. The cutouts are decent, but I just really like the fact that it had that kind of tint to it, especially when I couple that, with the purple back here, like, it's a vibe, y'all. The next item that I just really have been enjoying is actually kind of like a decor piece. It's this little melted clock, y'all. And it actually works. It actually will keep the time. It just looks so good on the shelf. I just wanted something that was a little different. It's eye-catching. You know how sometimes you get little decor pieces like this and it just looks fake? And then to make matters worse sometimes, not only does it look fake, it looks cheap. And that is the total opposite of what this one is giving. It looks real, it looks good. I currently have it on my shelf in my living room, but that's not where it's gonna live. It's gonna live in my office, but until I finalize the look of everything in there, I don't know, I just have it right there for now, just so that it can actually still be used somewhere. I love this thing, y'all. It just looks so good. The Sony ZV-E1. This is like the vlogging camera I think everybody's been waiting on. Maybe not everybody, but definitely me. Sony did the thing when they came out with this one a couple of weeks ago. Now, I actually attended Sony Camera Camp and got some, early hands-on time with this. Camera for anyone that's interested in getting into vlogging or just, capturing video on a more professional scale, but still with a camera that is super easy to use. Because Sony, to me, managed to find a nice balance between making a camera that's really great for pro videographers as well as beginners. And that sometimes can be hard to do because it packs more professional things, like some of the internals that are found in the Sony a7S III to get the image quality is the same or very similar things that are on this one as well. And it's smaller and compact, and it packs new technology. It actually has AI built in here to take advantage of something known as auto framing. But that makes it really great for like me in scenarios where I'm filming myself and I'm gonna be moving about in the frame and I want the camera to be able to kind of follow me. There's a setting in here that you can actually put it in where it'll track me to auto frame things by just kind of like cropping in. And this happens even if I have the camera on a tripod, so that the end result looks like I was being followed by the camera. The only thing about this, though, I want to advise is that you don't see this tracking preview while you're filming. You see it afterwards when you're reviewing the footage. The thing about that for me is like, I don't want to find out at the end after I've recorded myself that maybe I wanted it to frame me differently, but that's just something to note. But it's a lot of features in this camera, y'all, more than I can cover right now in this video, but I love this thing. It just is so perfect for vlogging. It gives me everything that I need in a form factor that I love. And while we're on the topic of vlogging, I actually picked up a new tripod arm. I feel like I'm always talking about a tripod in my videos as of late, but nonetheless, I got this one here because it had like a longer arm, so it allows me to kind of have like a little bit more versatility, especially when I'm vlogging. It's good for selfie style vlogging in hand or for scenarios where I want to place it on the table. Plus, on top of that, we cannot ignore the fact that it pairs so well with pretty much all of my Sony cameras, from my Sony ZV-E1 onto my Sony RX100. It does also work with other cameras, but those are the ones that I mainly use with it. However, the thing that I do want to advise is that it does have a weight limit. I'm totally fine when I'm using like my Sony RX100 up here, but when I start teetering to the Sony ZV-E1, depending on the lens, it might struggle a little bit. If I'm using like my 16-35 up here and the head might fall forward or something like that. So you just want to take that into fact. And it also works with iOS and Android with a detachable remote that magnetically snaps here. So not only does it function as the controls to quickly adjust things for your camera, like recording and zooming and things like that, but it also is detachable so that I can walk away from the camera and then capture myself as well. This is like one of my go-to tripods as of late. The Oura ring. This is more like an update. So if you watch my monthly favorites video, then you might remember in one of the previous ones I mentioned having the Gucci Oura ring. That ring, y'all, it looked good. I liked it, but the gold rings on it actually fell off. And they issued a recall on the ring. But then when I lost the other ring, I was side-eyeing it, y'all. I had to let it go. So I ended up going to the store and taking advantage of the refund that they were offering on it. With my Oura ring, finally decided to return it. So long. Gold rings came off altogether. Funny story, y'all, they actually have came out with the corrected version for it, but unfortunately it's still having the same issue. So I do hope they rectify that and actually get a third iteration out that works. But until then, I'm just going to use the traditional Oura ring. I have the gold option. And you know, honestly, the Gucci version and this version, despite the price difference, are the exact same. Oh my God, did I talk this whole time about it and not tell you what it does? So it tracks your sleep, it tracks your heart rate. It even can notify you when it notices a change in your body if it thinks you're about to come down with something. It's just super smart. And because I want to take advantage of sleep tracking, I prefer wearing a ring to bed than a watch. So, but nonetheless, it was a favorite then, still a favorite, just looks different. Oh, y'all, this next category might be one of my favorites. You know, I love a good bag. First one that I want to get into is this one from Doc Marten. Isn't it cute? It just looks so good and so premium. The handle, I was indifferent about because it just adds some height to the bag that I just prefer not to have. But I love the fact that I can carry it like this if I so desired to. I love the straps on this. They're super comfortable. You have an ID slot here. The one thing I will say though is that getting in and out of the bag, if you're gonna take advantage of these, can be a little bit more involved, if you will. As far as the inside, that is what we're looking at. Hopefully you can see. We have a laptop sleeve. We have another area in which you could put an iPad, and that is it. And then in this front pocket is just one big front pocket. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't broke it in yet. By that I mean I have not worn this out, but I plan on it. I just gotta find the right time. Okay, this right here. One thing I will say is I love a Coach bag, whether that's a purse, backpack, duffel. It's just a brand that I really like. And this one right here kept calling my name. So I had to answer, and you know, I pulled the plug on getting it. So it has the Coach logo all throughout it in this kind of like velvet material. The rest of the bag is leather. This right here, you might have thought that it was gonna be like, kind of like the other one where you push it through, but no, it magnetically snaps, y'all. So it makes it even easier to get in and out of the bag. And it's the same over here on the left and right. These are magnetic. It's not like a push button or anything like that, as you would assume in looking at the design. But you get a little bit more protection because you also have this little drawstring here that you can use to tighten the bag. So, you know, kind of like 2 layers. Or you can just keep it open to keep it easy to access. Inside here, these are the pockets. This is what the pocket setup is looking like. But there's a laptop sleeve. There's a sleeve in front of that you could put like a small tablet maybe, but definitely your phone, passport, and things like that. But right now I have my MacBook in here. Love the little theme we got going with the blue on blue. But the thing though, y'all, honestly, that really appealed to me with the bag is the color of the inside. I was noticing with my bags that because the inside was black, sometimes it made it harder to find things. So I wanted to get a bag that was a little bit lighter colored inside. I forgot to mention the straps on this one is just like top tier. It is so comfortable. I didn't know if they would be, but they absolutely truly are. I was a little nervous about this being lighter down here, I'm not gonna lie. But so far, you know, I've been more gentle than not with it, but it hasn't gotten dirty or anything like that. It's just really nice, y'all. I'm really feeling it. Next category, music, TV shows. Lately, honestly, TV show that I have been the most on is Love is Blind. This is my first time tuning in, but ultimately for those that aren't familiar with it, it's basically a speed dating type setup, but the catch is you don't get to see the person on the other side. So it's like blind speed dating, if you will. I don't really watch a lot of reality TV shows like that. So it really kind of surprised me when I actually did enjoy it and found myself like binge watching the episodes and stuff. But yeah, this was my first time checking out the show and I'm now a fan. My favorite couple is Brett and Tiffany. Their love is just so cute. I would say my least favorite, Irina and Josh, I think. Yeah, I think that was his name. I'm not gonna give the show away, but they had a storyline that I found to be very interesting. Could y'all do something like that? Blind speed dating? It's interesting in theory, I will say. But let me know down below in the comments, could y'all do blind speed dating? Music-wise, I got a couple of people that I have been listening to as of late. Actually, I'm gonna throw on screen the people that I have as my recently added to my music library. All right, y'all, we covered quite a bit in this video, but I wanna say that's everything that's gonna be in this one. But until the next time we meet, you can always follow me on Instagram, and you can always hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when the next video drops. If you do hit the notification bell, please make sure you head into the settings of your phone and also make sure that you are getting notifications for YouTube, because it's a two-step process. But that's it for this one, y'all. Until the next one, as always, thanks for taking the time out to let me tech you out.